Hey to-beezers, it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna talk about this thing I brought up on my Instagram, and basically explaining what I think the definition of growth is. And it's currently almost 3 a.m., but I just have a lot on my mind about a lot of stuff. And I might cry, but that's okay because we're here being transparent and loving and accepting and yes. So basically how this question came about, I was walking downtown with my friend and these people came up to us asking if we could be in a video, and I didn't do it because I suck at like coming up with words on the spot. Like, these videos are pretty difficult to make to begin with, so for someone else to ask me to be in a video, like, that just wouldn't have been a good idea because, yeah, I would jumble up all my words. But they basically asked if we could be in a video and explain what growth is to us, and for the past week I've been thinking about what growth is because personally I feel like I've grown a lot as a person, mentally, physically, and there's still a lot of growing to do. But what growth really means to me, I feel like there's so many like perspectives that I can talk about it. Like, there's so many things that can define growth, especially mentally. Like, for me, I feel like growing is learning from your mistakes. Because I feel like with growth, you have to experience things. You have to experience things that you didn't like. You didn't like the outcome, so you kind of change how you go about things, how your thought processes in the same situations, and how you react to things. I feel like growth adjusts how you react to things, adjusts how you go about certain situations. I feel like you can't grow and you will stay in the same place if you don't hop out of your comfort zone. And sometimes those experiences can be things you regret, but as you look back and as you reflect on who you are now, you kind of see that, oh, like, that had to happen, or that happened for a reason, and kind of like visualizing things in a way where you know you couldn't control certain things, even though you obviously look back and you're like, oh yeah, I could have controlled that, but in that time and place you didn't know what was going on. My heart is beating because there's just a lot on my mind right now. There's a lot of things in our past that we can't change, and it has shaped us to the person we have become. And there are certain situations for me personally that I look back and I'm like, dang, like, I just wish, like, if I could go back and I could cry. Fuck me in the freaking asshole. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm back. Like, if I could go back and change my mindset and, like, personally, I hate this. Oh my gosh. If I could go back and change how I felt towards myself, I feel like I would have prevented a lot of stuff. But growth comes from learning to love your past. Not love, like, love what you did, no. But learning from, like, looking back and, like, realizing that that place you were in back then is not the place that you are in now. Like, when I, like, look back and compare my mindset from now to back then, I see the tremendous amount of lessons I've learned, whether it's from people that I met, situations I was put in, just a lot of things that in the present can't be changed now. And I feel like the hardest part about looking back in the past is you can't change it, no matter how mad you are about the things you let happen. But realizing that those lessons have taught you so much and has built you and shaped you into the person that you are today. And like, obviously we're gonna make mistakes like throughout our whole life. No matter how old we get, we still make mistakes. And like the hardest part about like growing is accepting. Like accepting your past and accepting it for what it is when you realize that nobody's perfect. And the worst part about having a past that you're not exactly proud of is forgiving yourself for it. And another part is a lot of people will continue to judge you for how you were in the past because they don't know who you are in the future or how you are in the present. And you have to accept that people aren't going to accept, or people aren't going to be open about a lot of things. And like, I feel like for my growth, the biggest thing for me was just being more empathetic with like others' perspectives and people's situations. Just empathizing with everyone and their experiences, because everybody goes through certain things. Everybody has a past that you have no control over, and how people react you have no control over. And like, once you realize that you are in control of how you see things, how you go about things, how you accept you, whether your past is good or bad, whether your present is good or bad, acceptance is the biggest thing. And I think that's the hardest thing as well, because we are our biggest critics, and where focus goes, energy flows. And I feel like society focuses on the wrong things, and there's still so much judgment for people's pasts. And you can't convince people that you've changed. Someone's opinion of you is none of your business, because you can't change how they think about you. You can't force someone to accept you for everything that you are. You can't force someone to like you for whatever reason. And like, growing is choosing yourself, I feel like. Because for me, I used to just be all about somebody else. Like, I never had my individuality, and like, you know, I'm not perfect right now. I still have my moments where at least I look cute. I definitely still have my moments. I'm far from perfect, I don't know everything. I'm not a freaking genius, but all I know is that who I am today is such, well, who I am today is, honestly, I feel like I'm a really good person. I honestly do feel that. Like, genuinely, 2 years ago, I could not say that. I was in denial 2 years ago. Let's just say I went through a lot. I never had held myself on a pedestal. And I never thought that I would be making a video like this, being so transparent with you guys. But I feel like a lot of people go through it. I feel like a lot of people self-sabotage for their past. That comes with growth. Acceptance is growth. Just moving on is too broad of a saying, because moving on can take a long time, whether it's a bit by bit. Healing takes a long time. There's still, like, I'm not going into detail about like the stuff that happened. Let's just say I didn't know my worth. And I was in denial. I feel like growth is also holding yourself accountable for everything. Like, never making excuses for what you've done, but literally it comes back to acceptance. Accepting that it already happened. Like, stuff already happened. Things are gonna continue to happen whether you like it or not. And taking it one day at a time is probably the best advice I've ever gotten from my old volleyball coach. Taking it one day at a time, because let's face it, tomorrow's not promised. It's never promised. And I don't know, I just view situations as they are, but I do tend to overthink, which I'm working on, and I hope that I can kind of fix it. But like, overthinking is a bitch, basically. Growth is growth. Growth is strengthening your mental health, your physical health. Growth is learning from mistakes, moving on, and implicating what you learned from those mistakes into future situations. How you go about things, how you think things through, how you react to a lot of situations is growth. Like, you can't force people to ignore your past. You can't. It's up to them. You're not in control of that. You have to remember that your past doesn't define you. There are people who love you and will love you for who you are. People who will be open to digging up your past and loving you more because of it, and realizing that you are the person you are because of your past, and you have been shaped from your past into the person you are. And hopefully your past has shaped you into a person that is empathetic, that is understanding, that creates a safe environment mentally and physically for you and those you surround yourself with. I don't know, I feel like growth is just being good to yourself. Because a lot of us tend to bash ourselves for things that we can't change. We tend to dwell on things that we can't change. We tend to make scenarios that there's so many what ifs. I did this, what if I didn't do that, what ifs. There's a lot of mental things. And I got a lot of messages or like responses on what growth is, and it's basically not giving a care about what anybody says about you. Living life for you, not for anybody else. I got a lot of that. It's learning from mistakes. We just have to realize that nobody's perfect. When you experience someone's presence, you have to realize that people come from a past. Like, yesterday was past. What happened yesterday was a past. Like, you have to, I don't know, like, I feel like I've grown into a person that has been, that, I hate it. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm a person that gives people the benefit of the doubt. And before I was so freeing with it and like, oh yeah, like, if they hurt me, then they hurt me. And that's where I learned that you can't just trust anybody. And it's made me question more, but like I just see it as me protecting myself and putting myself first, and that's why I never like open up to people right away anymore. I got this shirt from H&M for $4. Super cute. I got like a bunch of other colors. I used to give people the benefit of the doubt. They proved me wrong. But I never treated someone like, if the past person hurt me, I would never reflect my emotions towards the past person to the new person, because they're a whole new person. They're not the past person that you've been with, you know? Like, whether it's like friendship, relationship, anything, like, people, everyone is an individual. Everyone comes from where they come from, and I just feel like it's unfair. Like, this is my mindset. I just feel like it's unfair to treat someone badly, or, you know, sus or question them without just because you were hurt in the past. And maybe that's a flaw of mine that I need to reflect on more, but I feel like I used to be so like freely open, like, oh, benefit of the doubt, but like now, because of my past and because of like what I've seen, it's not that I question people or I treat them badly or I disrespect them because someone in the past hurt me. No, that's not how I am now, but now I'm just more careful. Just being more observative. That's a word. Observative. I just observe a lot more. I take notes about like certain things that people do, because like I feel like what I went through, or like what I let myself go through, I just see a lot of red flags this quick, and I take note of that, and it kind of sucks when you feel like something is good and then it's not, and then you take that situation, it becomes an experience that is a part of you. You're in control of what you allow in your life. This really turned into more of me fucking crying about my past, but at the end of the day, I do know who I am today, and that who I was in the past was horrible to myself. I was horrible to myself. I was horrible to myself. I was naive, stupid. Oh my gosh, young. Like, yes, see this? Self-sabotaging. There's nothing I can change, and that's a flaw of mine that I need to work on. But realizing your flaws and like actually working towards that is a path towards growth. There are things that I put in the back of my head because I don't want to remember, but I have to realize that it's always going to be there. And like, I don't know. I have a personality that I feel like just gets along with people. And maybe it's a blessing, maybe it's a curse. But personally, I'd rather be someone that people get along with and someone hate, you know? And not that I'm trying to please anybody, that's just how I am. Like, that's my personality. I click with people quick. I vibe with people quickly. And I'm glad I'm like that. Because my soul isn't ugly. I genuinely want the best for everyone. I genuinely care for people, empathize with people. Like, when situations are brought to me, I put it in both perspectives. Like, you have to see things in both perspectives. You have to put yourself in people's shoes and see where they're coming from. And understanding that is a lot of things people lack. I feel like a lot of people lack empathy, for sure. And a lot of people are selfish, but at the same time, hey, that's them. You have no control over that. All we have is control of ourselves. And this kind of dragged on a lot longer than I expected, because my crybaby ass is emotional, and this Mercury Greatorade is getting to me. But yeah, life is life. Life is a bitch. Karma's a bitch. Everything you do in the dark comes to light. Yeah, sometimes life sucks, sometimes life is good. How you react to it is up to you. You are the creator of your reality. You're the creator of your headspace, what you allow, what you don't allow. I hope people relate, because I'm over here like, I'm crying. And this is not for clout at all. Like, this is literally how I feel about life, how I feel about myself, how I feel about others. Once we realize that we have no control of nobody's past, we don't have control of anybody's emotions, actions, and we only have control of ourselves, I feel like that's when we'll find peace in everything. But at the same time, it's not just black or white. I hate when people find a solution, like they think there's one solution for a problem when it's really not black or white. I literally got this from Grey's Anatomy. It's not black or white. There's literally so many things that come about. Like, there's so many factors that affect certain situations. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of societal stigmas that get to people's heads, and what you allow, what you believe, what you don't believe, how you're feeling. Like, you should never feel like your feelings don't matter, because they do matter. We're human. We literally have feelings. Unless you're a dog watching this, like, you know, I wish I was a dog. Honestly, I was talking to my friend. I'm literally getting off topic, but literally I was talking to my friend about just wanting to be a fish, because having feelings is like the worst thing ever. But anyways, yeah, we are in control of our lives. We are. What you focus on, who you allow, who you don't allow, what you tell, what you don't tell, and why you tell, what you believe and don't believe. It's all up to you. All of our experiences build us into who we are. Experience equals growth. Experience equals building blocks to different perspectives. Growth is openness to ourselves for sure. Acceptance in ourselves. I think that's all I have to talk about. This 30 minutes. Probably less than, because I'm going to cut out all the times that I kind of cried. But anyways, I hope you guys got something out of this. I kind of like these talks. I like this. I think I want more because I like venting and ranting and just talking. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. I don't know. We'll see what I come up with. Comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn your post notifications on. Bye!